Hello everybody, welcome to this week's experiment demonstration. Today we're going to be learning how to make the top experiment. To start, you're going to need to gather a few things. You're going to need the cutout sticker page from your ohana guide. You're going to need a sheet of cardstock paper, 3 toothpicks, scissors, and glue. And finally a piece of foam. Once you've gathered all the necessary materials, you can begin by taking your cutout sheet and peeling off the sticker page. And then you take that sticker page and stick it onto the sheet of cardstock paper. You're going to then want to cut out all the dotted circles that you see on the cutout sheet. Try to make them as round as possible because the more round they are, the better they will work as tops. Now, you're going to want to try to insert the toothpicks into the middle of your cutouts. The way you're going to want to do this is you're going to take your toothpicks and hold it like kind of how you hold a pencil with the same 3 fingers. And then with your other hand, what you're going to want to do is put 2 of your fingers around the hole where you're going to be inserting a toothpick in. Not where you're going to insert because you don't want to poke yourself, but around it to act as a support. And then as gently as possible, insert your toothpick into that hole. And you want to also choose one side of your toothpick to be the bottom of the top. Try to have the bottom of the top where the spinning will actually happen be between 1 inch and 3/4 of an inch off of the ground. And make sure that's the sharper end of the toothpick. If it gets blunt while you're piercing the paper, then flip the toothpick around and make sure the sharper end is the one touching the bottom. And throughout this whole process, try to be gentle with the top to not bend it too much. And also try to refrain from moving the toothpick too much in the hole, because if you keep moving, you'll make the hole wider and that'll make the top not work as well. Now you can begin gluing the paper to the toothpick. The way you do this is you take your glue and you put it right up to where the toothpick and paper meet, and you kind of just squeeze the glue and also twist the toothpick at the same time to apply it all around the edges. And try to push it in there so make sure it gets between all the gaps. And do the same thing for both sides. And also try to make sure that while you're gluing it that the paper is perfectly perpendicular to the toothpick so that it sticks out and it's straight and flat. Make sure it's not bent or anything, and make sure it makes a 90-degree angle with the toothpick. Do the same for all 3 tops. After you apply the glue, you could take the top and pierce them into the foam. So the idea with this is that you want to keep the paper suspended and not touching anything while the glue dries, because if you put it on the ground, it might lean and it might bend the paper. This may ruin the top shape as it dries. And just let them sit for a few hours until the glue hardens, and try to avoid touching them during this time. Once the glue dries and everything's secured in place, you can now test your tops out by spinning them each a few times. That's all for this week's experiment. I hope you guys had a great time. See you all next week.